It's a long weekend.
Hi, welcome to the Random Hour. I'm Kyle, and as usual, I'm joined by Devin. I couldn't get rid of him.
Never. You can never get rid of me.
And today, we're joined by Zoe. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Zoe. I go by band name Generator across like every platform. I do a lot of like cosplay and fandom content, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Zoe, thanks for coming on. So I'm going to start us off with the first question. So we're a pop culture nerd and sundries podcast. What is something you nerd out about?
It depends on like the day. Lately, I've been really into Jujutsu Kaisen, and that's like hindered my daily life. So, but that, and then I always come back to like Sonic for some reason, like the Sonic community. Whenever I do my cosplays, usually those are like the first in line for like what I'm gonna do. So it kind of just depends on like when I wake up, I'm like which one shuffles to the front of my brain, and then I just go from there.
I know I'm rewatching Jujutsu Kaisen because we got Crunchyroll in our house now. And so
Oh yeah.
I've already seen season one, but I'm rewatching season one, and I'm way too into it because I'm like, time to go home and watch more Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say you've seen it through season 2 then?
I have not. I've
Or you
only
haven't
seen
yet?
up to season one. A lot of times
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll be like, time to start season two. Might as well rewatch season one. Might as well watch season two again. I did that with Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it 4 times now.
Oh my god. I tried Attack on Titan, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know if it was like the art style or just like it was a little too depressing, but that one I couldn't get past the first couple of episodes. I was like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. My latest watch through, and I'm like, why is he Aaron so whiny? Was he always this whiny? And now
I guess
I'm
like in
like,
the beginning.
yeah. And I'm like, I guess he's always been this whiny because it's like hitting me. I'm like, oh, he's not a good main character right now. He's just
he's got to go through all that, trauma.
Yeah, and so I'm like, maybe he'll round out in a later season. I'm like, no, he's still pretty rough. He just yells a lot.
Yeah, that sounds about right from what I've heard at least.
Yeah, and so you're not missing too much. I did really enjoy Attack on Titan, but I don't. I guess it's the so many watch throughs that I'm like, somebody needs character growth.
You know what? That's fair. That's how I feel about Bungo Stray Dogs, like right in the first season. Because that one's my all-time favorite. But the first season is like the most fun to watch, but it's very... I get like a little bit shocked when I go back to the first season.
Yeah.
I just want to know one thing. Why do people simp over Gojo? I really don't get it.
Personally, Anami is the love of my life and the light of my world, but I get why people go for Gojo. Have you heard his voice, especially like the dub voice with Keiji Tang, I think is who it is?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think that's probably part of it. And I mean, just like his fighting style, I do enjoy a good like crazed, cocky main character. Oh, no, he's not the main character, but
Yeah.
He feels like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Listen, and this is going to sound controversial, and you two might beat me up for this, but I'm really not a big fan. I watched the first season, and I was like, and I have the prequel movie on DVD. I was like, okay, this is a cool world, but it's not my cup of tea.
Is it?
Yeah, I think the author like originally was gonna write it about Utah being like a government. I feel like this might be completely wrong. I don't remember where I read this, but it's in my head for some reason. Like I think it's supposed to be about him, and then like he finds Maki along the way, and like it wasn't a school setting, but then that's what it ended up being, and he like didn't really have a passion for it. Because like I appreciate it for some reason, it just like pulled me in, and I was like, I love this, but it could have gone further than where it did. I don't know if you keep up with the manga or anything, but I know the ending had a lot of people up in arms.
I know Gojo's death was personal.
Yeah, I remember where I was when that happened.
Yeah, I know. This is like one of the few mangas I'm like, should I? Shouldn't I? And
I think you should.
It's one of those where I was like, yeah, let's hold off. But yeah, I did that with One Piece, Dragon Ball, Kaiju number 8, Hunter x Hunter, Chainsaw Man, Spy X Family. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot.
Okay, I've only watched a few. I only got into anime like a year or two ago at this point. Mm-hmm. So I haven't seen that many.
Chainsaw Man's really good. You got to read the manga. It gets crazy. Like the anime is only volumes 1 through 5, which is really good, but volumes 6 through 11,
yeah,
it gets wild.
I see a lot of cosplayers do like Chainsaw Man, and that makes me want to watch it because they look so cool. But I honestly have like almost no idea what it's about. My brother described the plot to me once, and it just like it's gone.
It's definitely a more mature anime.
Yeah.
It's definitely more bloody and gory. Of course, there is a good bit of horror and body dysmorphia, like
That makes sense. They're like
in
chainsaws,
Kaizen.
kind of.
Yeah, in Kaizen, there's also that element, and Chainsaw Man is much more like bloody graphic, like action.
Mm.
It's like, well, there's a good bit in Jujutsu Kaisen too, though, but it's definitely
Yeah, but I feel like it's not that graphic.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it's not. It's just like the curses dying. I guess the people do too, but like.
Oh, what
I don't know, it
shocked
doesn't
me,
feel as aggressive.
you know,
Do
what
what?
shocked me about Jujutsu Kaisen. So when I first watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I walked into it like completely blind. Even before I watched the prequel movie first a little bit. I didn't know that homeboy had to eat a finger to get his powers. I was like, excuse
Yeah.
me, you got to eat what?
he'd be deep throating those
Yeah,
things.
I mean, I don't know how far y'all have gotten with it, but it's definitely like he's a lot more interconnected than just the finger. But that was definitely like what set him off, and like the family tree alone is so like convoluted. I don't know. It's really interesting to me.
I have seen all of season 1. I think Devin's seen all of season 1.
I've watched all of season 1. I like the end of season 1 where they're like going against the other schools. That part I did like. It
Yeah,
was
that
very,
was cool.
it was very Hunger
But y'all
Games
haven't
meets Harry
experienced
Potter.
Shibuya yet.
No.
I said y'all. So y'all haven't experienced the Shibuya arc yet.
I am
That's good.
starting season 2.
Yeah, season
like-
2 starts like flashback.
Yep. I'm in. I think I finished and I've like started season 2. I'm at like the first episode and I don't remember how far I am. I'm looking at the wall like I can see it, but
That's okay. Maybe something will pop up. You never know.
well, nothing
Turn
yet.
the
The cats
Go
look at me
Jimmy-
weird though.
look. Do the Jimmy
As we should.
Neutron brain blast, Kyle. You can do it.
Do you really want me to brain blast? Remember what happened on popcorn buckets?
Oh God, please no. You'll probably think of some fun facts about Jujutsu Kaisen that's in your core memory, and we'll be here
Oh,
for 2
God.
hours.
Oh yeah. All right. But what got you into cosplay?
I've always kind of enjoyed it. I always went like way too hard for Halloween. And then one day, what was I even doing? Like I started my Instagram account because I was like, what if I just did this for fun? And then I started doing more and like going to conventions and it just kind of like snowballed from there. So I don't know. Because a lot of my cosplays, because I feel like a lot of the characters I do are, they're not casual, but they're not like super hard builds. I think the biggest thing I've made so far is I made a Black Doom from Shadow the Hedgehog, like 2005 game. That one was
Nice.
fun. And I'm still like doing things to it because there's a Sonic Expo that I go to and I want to wear it to one of those days, but it's not ready to be like worn in a day to day. It's like I can wear it and take a few pictures and then like take the pieces off and hope they don't break.
I know.
I don't know. And I like to do a lot of like mashup type cosplays. I have a lot of like cowboy versions or like Jedi versions that I do, and it's just, I don't know, it brings me joy.
Okay. I know up here in Chamberlain, there was a pop-up Sonic restaurant, which had really good.
Oh, is it the Speed Cafe?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was
there's
super
one in
cool.
Houston.
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
That's
They
fun.
popped up for a little bit, and I was like,
Did y'all go?
we gotta go. We gotta go there. And so me and my girlfriend went,
Oh, nice.
and then I was like, I wanted to get like a T-shirt, like, but they were
Yeah.
all out, and I don't think I could fit
Oh,
a
that's
U
too bad.
small. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's fair. Ours is in Houston because I'm in Texas, but that's like a 5-hour drive that I have to rationalize to myself. So I need a little more than just like I'm gonna go to the cafe.
It'd be like that.
Oh, yeah.
Lord. How's the cosplay scene in Houston since you mentioned Texas?
I've only been to one con in Houston because I'm closer to Dallas, so a lot of the things that I do are in like North Texas. But we went to Animeverse in Houston in like February, and it was really cool. It was like big and a little overwhelming, but like up in Dallas, I feel like the people that I kind of like interact with, all of their stuff is like super cool. There's a lot of One Piece and a lot of, I mean, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like that's really popular right now too. But also a lot of like Has-Been Hotel stuff I see lately. I don't know anything about Has-Been Hotel, but I see a lot of the characters.
Really? You haven't watched
There's
Has-Been
just-
Hotel?
What?
You haven't really watched it yet?
I have not seen it, no.
Well, one, do not watch in the living room in front of your kid. That is not, I repeat, and for everybody home, it is not kid friendly. I repeat, it is not kid friendly.
It has a age warning, Devin. I don't know what you're expecting.
Well, you know how people are.
Yeah.
Look, cartoon.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of that. Like, you see a cartoon and you think it's for kids, and it never is.
But
Not
no,
never,
it's so
a lot of times.
It's a cool concept. It's literally, so it's basically a quick synopsis. It's the daughter of Lucifer opens a hotel in hell, and she basically uses it to reform sinners to get them into heaven.
And then
That's kind of cool.
There's several musical numbers as well.
Oh, nice. I do like a good musical.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. It just I've seen a lot of people like enjoy it, but it just never struck me as like something for me, I guess. But maybe I should get into that then.
It's what got me, because I'm not usually a big musical person, but what got me was the world building, and they kind of in the first episode, the way they build the world, it's pretty unique. You're like, it's pretty cool. I do recommend it.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll need to put that on my list. So I've got like a list of things I need to watch through. But I think Devil May Cry is the next thing I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I know for Hazbin Hotel, I think some of them are like what's the word? Like minimum.
Like low hanging fruit.
Yeah, minimum cosplay where it's like red suit, stuff like that, white makeup. Some of the characters are very easy to like cosplay. Or at least that's what we've heard. Is it from somebody we've talked to, or just like stuff I watched on TikTok, Devin?
I feel like it's a mixture of both. We've done so many cosplayers from all over this country, and we're like, that's just been the hot topic right now. Is Hazbin Hotel, especially with season 2 coming out, I think next summer. And Hell of a Boss just signed a deal with Amazon Prime.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they just announced that earlier this week. I did see that on TikTok, and Brandon Rogers' official, social media pages, because he's the voice of Blitzo.
Oh, that's really cool. We'll go for them.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Sonic, and you said Sonic the Shadow game. What's your go-to Sonic game or your favorite one of all time?
My favorite will always be the Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog, the one from 2005. It's, from 2005, and it's on my little PlayStation 2. Something about it, that just will always be my favorite. But I think the best one is the Sonic Shadow Generations, because I just played through that, probably October, whenever it came out, because I had it on pre-order. My sister had gotten it for me, and that is I think that's probably one of the best games so far that they've put out, especially after all of the flack that has happened after Frontiers and I don't remember the other one that I was about to say.
I own Frontier, and I don't mind Frontier, but I've had a hard time trying to beat it. Frontier was cool, but
it's so divisive, because people will either love it or hate it, and it's very aggressive on both sides.
You ain't lying. I was like, but I did like it on opening launch, because I was like, ooh, an open world Sonic game. Yeah, open world when you're getting chased by 20 robots. I'm like, oh god, no.
What is
God,
that?
Yeah.
Oh, Sonic Unleash.
Yeah. That era of Unleashed and was it the Black Knight, and I think the one with the ring, I feel like that one, maybe even 06, you could throw that into there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Are definitely in that vibe of people are this is awful. But I've seen a lot of a renaissance of Sonic Unleashed lately.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I got bored. I was like, I've got more free time lately. I am going to play Sonic Mania, and I got the bundle of Sonic Mania, and which is a bunch of old school levels. I was really having fun with that, and then I also have Frontier, which I haven't touched yet. I need to.
Like I said, Frontier is going to make you get chased by a lot of robots really fast, but it was a cool concept.
I mean,
it is fun.
When you're a blue hedgehog.
Yeah, the concept's really cool. There's a lot. I don't remember their handle, but there's somebody who's modding the entire game and making it into a fan game, basically redoing it. And I think it's interesting. It's fun that people do that, but it's really cool to see. But I don't mind it as a game. It's definitely, it makes me stressed to play, is how I feel.
What?
Just a lot of running, and I like the open world concepts, but I think I like the more you go here, then here, then here, versus you just go around.
One of the most recent Sonic games that I did not like, and I haven't played it, but the only reason I didn't like it was the one Sonic Forces when that came out around the same time as Mania, or maybe before Mania. Have you played that one, Zoe?
Yeah, I have.
Is it good? It didn't appeal to me. I was like, ooh, okay, I can create my own custom character, and it just did not appeal to me.
I feel like it could have been really good, but it wasn't, because the whole concept was with Infinite, and all of the enemies were going against Sonic, but then you find out they're all just not hallucinations, hologram type things, and that's cool, but they also, I feel like they could have just done so much more with this character and had him reoccurring, as opposed to he's in this game at the end.
Right.
So, but they did have a cool moment where Shadow hunts him down, and he kicks him, and he's basically you're a little bitch, don't come after me, and then he doesn't kill him, but he had already killed like his whole other squad. So I'm like, I wish they would have gotten into that and done something different. I mean, overall, it was fine.
We're not talking about the best Sonic game from the 2000 era. It's the Sonic Heroes series.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else here likes
I
Sonic Heroes?
didn't play those as much, to be honest.
What? Sonic Hero was like the best soundtrack.
It does, yeah. The soundtrack slap. I mean, honestly, they all have great soundtracks. I love them. Although Sonic Adventure 2, I feel like that one has the most that people recognize.
Let me ask you this. Continue down the Sonic lore path. What would you like to give our fans a rundown for the Sonic lore? So if you could explain Sonic to our fans here at home that don't know Sonic, how would you explain it to them?
Are we going just games, or are we doing like Archie comics or IDW or like shows?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because there's so much. Because I feel like when you add in, because like the Archie comics aren't canon, but they have like the Freedom Fighters and Sally Acorn, and that's all separate. And then like the IDW right now with not the Resurrection, it starts with an R that I can never remember what it's called, where like Amy runs it, and then they have like the whole Metal Virus arc. I don't know. It depends on how much of the lore you're looking for, because then you also have like the shows like Sonic X and Sonic Boom, and then like the movies. I don't know. Where are we starting?
Let's go games first. We'll go to the simplest forms. I didn't even think about the IDW run.
The IDW ones, I know that's like really polarizing. Is a lot of people don't like it because a lot of people have beef with Ian Flynn. There's a lot of like anti Ian Flynn right now, and I mean, I feel pretty neutral.
Really?
Better than 10 Penders is really all I care about. So,
I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. You said out of the cartoons. Did you ever watch the original one from the early '90s, the Saturday morning Sonic cartoons? Not the silly one, but the more serious tone one with Sally Acorn.
Was that Sonic OVA, whatever, or was that the triplets, like Underground, Sonic Underground?
It's OVA.
I started the triplets.
How
it
was
was
it?
not. It was not what I was expecting.
Oh, it's Sonic Underground. Sonic Underground. If I remember watching Sonic Underground years ago on like VHS, and I was like, "Well, he has siblings. What do you mean he has siblings?" And you're just like, "Oh, okay, this is a
He's
trip."
a triplet.
I was like, I need something to like binge as I like work out on the treadmill, so I can like kill time and distract myself. And I was like, this is not it. I was like, what is happening? This is not the Sonic I know. And
it's definitely something to come into.
Yeah, it was all Steve Urkel. He's like voicing most of the characters, and I was like, that's his voice with a kind of change to it a little bit. And I was like,
it's something.
It is. So
yeah, as far as like the shows, because my daughter really enjoys Sonic Boom, and that one just like that's its own within itself. It has some really funny parts. We've watched through it like at least 10 times, but it's definitely games were not.
That's one I keep hearing is good.
I don't know if I'd call it good, but it's like a really fun spin-off show, and I would like watch it. I would continue to like watch it over and over. It's one of those you can put it in the background and it's just fun.
Okay.
Honestly, it's meme worthy. I just watch clips where it's memes, and my favorite meme from it's where Knuckles is like, "Approve."
Oh yeah.
Hey. What was the other one?
It's got some crazy one-liners in that show too. It's funny.
Oh my god, yeah. Where God, I always watch the Knuckles ones because Knuckles in that show is just like they made him super dumb for no reason, and like he tried to stick a baby in a blender, and we're like, "What are you doing?"
You got to beat up the biggest guy in the yard.
Yeah, definitely got some moments.
That's Knuckles. That's for prison. Only if you let it be.
Yeah.
It's
funny. It's something.
Let's see. And then Sonic.
It's fun to watch.
Sonic X, which I always say we're all early 2000 kids here. That to me, in my opinion, is probably like one of the best ones.
Yeah, Sonic X was really good. What is your opinion on Chris? Because I feel like most people don't like him.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, Sonic needed if you bring Sonic and his characters to the human world, it makes sense that he's got to have a companion, but I also feel like Chris was just there half the time. And then when, near the end at the last arc, when they finally go back and then they did the weird... What was weird to me was the time skip. It was like Earth was like 10 years, but in reality, in Sonic's world, it was like 8 months. That part was weird to me. And he just kept crying because he was like, Sonic, my best friend. I miss my best friend. I'm like, dude, you're okay.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
It was odd.
You thought
it was sad. Like, it definitely had some moments that were really sad, too. Because I remember, like, when Rouge picks him up and, like, just drops him into that bottomless pit for a second. I remember being a kid and being like, okay, But yeah, he's fine.
I have a question. What do you want to see in Sonic 4?
I go back and forth because in my head, in my ideal world, if I was gonna like write out a timeline for those movies, because there's like the rumors of the Shadow spin-offs, and then like Knuckles has his own series. But what I think they should do is they should have the Shadow series be the Shadow the Hedgehog 2005 like game with Black Doom, where all of that happens. But before that, I would love to see like a Knuckles series where he's hunting down the Mastered Emerald with like the Chaotix, and then Rouge is also trying to steal it, and like that's how we get her, and then that leads up to the Shadow spinoff, and then from there, I would love to see the fourth one be, because to be honest, I really don't care about Perfect Chaos, and I know that that's really polarizing, but I just don't. I would love to see like Sonic 06 adapted into the fourth one, but I don't think that's going to happen since Metal is going to be the main one. So I think
wait, I
we're
haven't
going to
seen
get like
Sonic
the
3.
Metal. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh man, he's in it. Well, it's okay. I mean, I
It
tried
was
to.
an end credit scene. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Well, I kind of speculated because fans are fans, and the internet will ruin it for you. So I'm just dodging and weaving.
I'm sorry.
Metal, really?
Yeah, Metal. Do you want me to like not tell you what happens?
Please, non-review.
Okay, I won't tell you what the
Non-spoiler.
end credit scene was. Yeah, I won't spoil it. So, but anyways, I think that the fourth one is going to be like a Metal Neo Metal moment, and then that would lead into like Sonic 06 for the fifth one. My like crack dream would be that the Metal arc would be Sonic 6, but I don't think they'll ever adapt any of the IDW comics.
Was the Metal arc? No, the Metal arc wasn't with when he was the big
The Metal
monster.
virus?
Yeah, no, I don't think they're. I kind of agree with you. I think they're playing it safe. I don't think they're going to try to do. I don't know. That's a good theory because I feel like they're. I get what you're saying. That's actually a good pitch idea to introduce Rouge the Bat, but I really don't think they're going to do. I don't think they're going to do Sonic 06 because how poorly it is to fans.
I don't think they would do it either. I'd love to see it. There is, however, there's a big movement. That sounds so stupid to say, but like I have my like Shadow the Hedgehog little like Stan Twitter account that I have because I like to like see all of that. That one's not important. My handle is different. You can't waterboard that information on me. But I like to see like what happens. But with Unleashed, the same thing is happening with Sonic 06 is like the story part is being like revamped and reappreciated, even though the game is horrible and buggy and awful to play. But like the story is really fun, and Shadow's story is so good that I feel like it's getting enough popularity to where there could be like mentions of it, especially if Silver and Blaze are going to be introduced at all.
That's a good idea. I don't know. Those are all good ideas. How was I haven't seen it yet, but how was Keanu Reeves as Shadow? I thought that was a good casting.
For the movie Shadow, I think it worked. If it had been like an animated movie or like for the games, I don't think he would have been a good choice. But like for the movies, it was good.
Who would you have wanted to voice him instead?
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
I mean, I'm partial to Jason Griffith because he's my favorite Shadow the Hedgehog ever. So that will always be my answer, unfortunately. Okay. But I don't think that would happen.
Oh no, that is fine. Sometimes I know we talked about voicing headcanons.
Mm-hmm.
For an episode where because we both read comic books and we were like, this character we can only hear as this voice actor from this, like I could only hear Superman from like Justice League, the animated series, and so we were talking about like that, like there's something that sticks with you when you care about a character so much, especially in like a show or something, that when you like read them or you see them on screen, you can only like hear their voice almost.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I was the same way when the first Sonic movie came out because Ben Schwartz, is that how you say it? Schwartz?
Yeah,
I feel
Ben
like I'm
Schwartz.
butchering it. Yeah, I was like, really? They're going to give him a chance? But like, I was like, okay, he does a really good Sonic. So I was like, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like DuckTales. He's really good at that quirky little character.
Yeah, because he's also one of the Ninja Turtles too, isn't he? I don't remember which one though.
He is. And I thought Tevin knew this, but apparently, according to his face, he does not.
I'm pretty sure he is. But I feel like, as far as movies go, like movie Sonic to me is Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't picture him as like the game, because like I feel like Roger Craig Smith in my mind, like that's who I hear when I see like animated Sonic, but like the movie one to me is Ben Schwartz.
Okay, well let me ask you this, let's have a little fun with it. You could just, for funsies, if you could recast everybody to revoice the Sonic characters in the movies, who would you pick?
I was would do Jason Griffith for Shadow. I'm not super familiar with voice actors, so I'm trying to think.
Or you can do actual
just wanna
celebrities.
if you just want to say from which game, that will also probably work.
That's fair. Yeah, I like Jason Griffith for Shadow, and I really like Roger Craig Smith for Sonic, because I know Jason Griffith has done both, but like I like how different it would sound, I guess. I mean, the Colleen, I can never remember her last name, I feel bad. She's Tails even in the movies and in the games, and I feel like nobody else in the world can be Tails. Like, that's her, the end. If I was gonna do, I'm trying to think for like Knuckles, I don't know. I feel like I'm so terrible at this. I'm not creative enough to like think of voice actors on the spot.
I promise you were fine. We did put you on the spot.
No, you're good. Because I like Idris Elba. I feel like for the characterization of like movie Knuckles, he works. But like if they were going to do a Sonic Boom, I don't think that would work. But like Idris Elba would still work in like the Sonic Underground. Like I think he would work for that one. But I don't know. That's almost. I feel like Knuckles is very case by case. I am not the biggest fan of Rouge's current voice actor. Who would I even want for that? Because I like how like the way that her voice sounds in Sonic Adventure 2, where it's very like the inflection at the end of her words. I really enjoy that. Where it's a little more like sassy as opposed to just like
flirtatious,
higher pitched. I picture Rouge with like a lower pitched voice instead of the higher pitched voice.
Okay.
I guess. So.
Alrighty.
I don't know who that would be. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you are fine. We put the ball in your court, and we didn't give like, hey, name a bunch of people you don't know.
Yeah.
That's on us.
And then for Amy, I would honestly, I don't know if it would turn out well, but I can never remember her name, but the woman who's Louise from Bob's Burgers, I would love to hear her for Amy. I feel like that would be really cool. I feel like that would be fun.
That would be interesting. I kind of
like that. That would be fun, because I could see her as either Amy, or if they did do the Chaotix, like for Charmy. I could see her for either one of those two.
That's a good. Ooh, I like. I just wonder which Amy though. Like, ooh, are we gonna do like the flirtatious Amy that's always chasing after Shadow, or are we gonna get the super serious Amy that's always wanting to hit people with her hammer? That's a good choice. Ooh, I could see either one.
I would love to see like a combination of the two, because honestly, I love all iterations of Amy. She can do no wrong, in my opinion. But the way that it seems is she's gonna be like, she's gonna come in and be like, yeah, like I'll take you all out, but I'm also like, she can still have fun, because I feel like with Amy they've never walked the line of like, she can be a bad bitch, she can be like that, or she can be feminine. They never really let her be both. And especially like when Sonic Boom came out, people were like, oh, now we finally like Amy because she's not annoying. And I feel like that's just so unfair to her character, because I don't think she's ever been annoying. She's always just been like a girl, and that's so much fun to see her like get to be a girl and get to be so powerful in the way that she is. Because like, I mean, not to reference the IDW comics again, but there's like a panel where she's lifting like this huge thing, and Silver's gonna help her with his little, telekinetic thing, and she just like slams it down, and he's like horrified that she was so strong and did it by herself. And I'm like, that's where I feel like she should be. She should get to be a girly girl and have fun, because that's always been her brand, and especially like with the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog and like her tarot cards. But then she also gets to be just like cool and powerful instead of having to choose.
I like that answer, actually.
Thank you. I think about it a lot.
Well, I never really thought Amy was annoying personally, but you raise good points.
A lot of people are very passionate about it.
I have thoughts
about it being terrible.
A lot of times people will just claim something is bad because it's a girl, and I've noticed that.
Yes, that does tend to happen quite a bit.
So like Prey is a really good movie. We reviewed it on Popcorn Buckets, but I don't think it got the like it did because it's not an older movie. If it was an older movie, people would like it because of nostalgia. Alien is one of those where if it was made in today's time, I don't think it would do as good, just because people would hate it because the main character's a girl.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I've noticed that with the Thunderbolts that just came out, a lot of people are like, this is fine, but here's my dream casting, or like dream team, and it's like all of the men are still there, and they've replaced the women with like, I saw somebody replace Ghost with Galactus, and I was just like, okay, that's a choice, but they're always like taken out and chosen to be, and like even if it's something that they're not aware of that they're doing, it tends to filter through and show up in that way, and it's just like the subconscious act of that is really annoying.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot, especially in the eyes of somebody that reviews movies for another podcast. A lot of these movies aren't as bad. It's just they don't get a good hype because a lot of times people are being sexist on the internet.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Stupid
reasons. All of those fun things to call a movie, oh, it's terrible because of this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, that's not correct, but okay.
But back on the cosplay train.
Sorry.
Great transition.
I got a
on
little
my
too
part.
for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. What cosplay has the most meaning for you?
For me, I don't know. The first one I ever did was a Loki cosplay, and like that was the first one I had ever like fully made from scratch. Like I had my sewing machine and I was like making it and just like fully dove into that. So that one means a lot to me because that was like right where I started and I got to actually create it instead of just like buying the pieces and putting it together. So I think that one for sure because it just started everything for me, and then I was like, oh, I can actually make things. Like, this is really cool. Okay. I think that one would hold the most meaning to me.
What has been the most difficult cosplay for you to create?
I made one that ended up not working at all that I hated, and it was a biblically accurate angel Gojo one, and I think I just need to, like, revisit it, because it could have been really cool, but I also rushed it. That one was really hard. And then my Black Doom one that I've made, it's not like 100% finished, but like it's fine. That one was a lot because it was like building out pieces with the EVA foam and like learning the line between how much my heat gun is too close versus not too close. I burned a lot of things, just like things like that, like building pieces versus like making it out of fabric. So yeah, that would be it. Probably the Black Doom one. And like you can see it, it's back there actually. My little like spikes that like hang out from the sides, like how to attach them to my head. Because like I've tried headbands, I've done a bunch of different things, and I finally like figured out how to do it. But that was a lot of trial and error, and that like took years off my life.
Okay.
I'm surprised a headband didn't work.
It was too heavy, and they're just too big because they stick out like really far.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's only so much you can do for weight distribution. I mean, you can make something sizable, but sometimes the density of it's still too much.
Yeah, so it was a lot of trial and error, but we got there eventually.
Okay. What is a cosplay that you want to do in one day in the future?
I want to make a Metal Sonic one really badly, but like almost like not like a 1-for-1. But I want to do, like, with, like, the headpiece and all of the metal pieces, but, like, you still... I'm explaining this terribly, but just, like, a version of Metal Sonic. I would love to make something like that.
Okay. Like, your previous cosplays were to heart? I'm sorry. Like, one of your previous Sonic cosplays?
Oh, yeah, I have a bunch of those. I have like, a couple different versions of Sonic, and then I've got a Shadow, a Sith Shadow, and then, like, a Cowboy Shadow. My daughter's been Amy. So she claimed that one, so I don't have any Amy cosplays. She was like, this one's for me. And I was like, you're right, you do that. Okay. And then I have the Black Doom one. So those are all my Sonic ones currently.
Oh, what made you think of... that's right, I wanted to ask this. It's funny I didn't write this down originally, but when you asked which cosplay I saw of yours on TikTok, what made you think of Sith Lord Shadow or Star Wars Shadow?
I think I made it last year for May the 4th is what it was. Shadow the Hedgehog is like one of my all-time favorites, and so I was making a whole bunch of like trial and error versions of Shadow, and then I was like, oh, it's May the 4th. What if he was a Sith? And so I just started doing that, and I had made the top that I had for it. I had originally made to do like a Sith version of Wanda Maximoff, but I was like, I would like this one so much more. So I just kind of went with it.
Nice.
I don't know. It just called to me.
You're the next one.
I am the next one. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, yes. Since you do go to a lot of conventions, what has been a really cool cosplay that you've seen at conventions?
Oh, shoot. I have an answer for this, but all of a sudden my mind is blank. I'm really excited to see Bungo Stray Dogs cosplayers because I feel like there's not that many. Because I never see people dress up for that. So every time I see those, it's really fun. What did I see? I saw... Dang. Where did it go? It's gone. There was a bunch at the Sonic Expo we went to. I did see someone do a Metal Sonic that I thought was really cool, and it was like a 1-for-1 recreation of it. That was pretty sick. I saw a lot of people do when I went to Animeverse Fest, I watched the cosplay contest. I saw a lot of people do like Five Nights at Freddy's, like full-on animatronic cosplays, and like that, I don't know how people do that. Like those were really cool. But I saw a Surge the Tenrec. That's probably one of my favorite ones that I've seen. And then I don't know if I'm biased or not, but my brother, he does a Joker Sonic, and we call him the Soaker, and that one's fun. Every time he comes with us, he usually garners a bit of attention with that. And that
Oh,
was
that's
just fun.
cool.
So we're going to Sonic Expo again this year, like him and my sister and our friends. And so we've been picking like DC characters to go with the others so far. So like, cause he's like the Soaker, and mine is gonna be Shatman, like Shadow Batman, and then my sister is gonna be Robin and Tails, and she's gonna call herself Rails. So we'll see how that goes.
I just
And
have
then
to
our other
remind
friend
myself.
is trying to decide what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have to remind
Not to make
myself
that
that I'm
question
a
more
mature and adult.
I'm not a mature adult. I am not a mature adult.
No, that's why we named it that.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not a mature adult.
Ah,
That's a good one. I didn't expect that answer.
those were really good answers and names.
Those are some good names. I can't wait to see those. I hope you post those on your social
Thank
media. That's
you.
gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's not till November, so
Yep.
but
Plenty-
it'll be fun. We've been planning and
Plenty of
putting things
time to
together.
prep for Shatman.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I would want to
Rails.
show up looking crazy. Yeah. We got the Soaker, Shatman, and Rails. So
You
should be
definitely
fun.
have to
And
have
then
prep time for Rails.
an unknown fourth character that we haven't decided on yet.
I with those names, I doubt there'd be anything that isn't extraordinary.
You know what? I hope you enter the cosplay contest and win off those names alone.
I don't know if I'm brave enough to enter a cosplay contest. That's a lot of eyes looking at me. I don't know if I can handle that, to be honest.
Especially with
Yeah, because at least when I post my TikToks, like I can't see the people that are
True.
looking at me.
That's a lot of people to be Shatman.
Shut.
Yeah, it is.
That made my day. That's the highlight of my day.
Devin, you may have to cut this out, but I'm gonna let her in on a secret.
Go ahead.
So Devin came up. He's in South Georgia. We went up for his first comedy show. He was at 11.
Oh hell, you're telling this story. Go. Yeah.
I am.
Oh hell,
And
yeah.
so-
Go ahead.
So he did really good. A lot of the people there weren't great. First time ever doing anything. A lot of them were like, yeah, I'm really into big women and some racist stuff, politics, all that. And I'm like, okay. And then Devin goes, I'm like, okay, that was pretty good actually. He's doing better than I thought. And Devin gets off and I'm like, okay, I can rest easy. No, my friend did good at comedy. And then the guy that comes on after him goes, if I had a superpower, I wish it was shitting my pants on command. And I was like, what?
Well,
It was not funny. The way
at
he
least
delivered
it.
it.
You could hear a pin drop. And he just talked for the entire 4 minutes about shitting his pants.
He did, because I was backstage and I just want to shit in my pants. Like, excuse me?
That's a choice. That's a choice. Wow.
Everybody was in shock and nobody laughed. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
That's gotta be a little painful on his part to just know that that's.
Yep. But
Yeah. Sounds about right.
yeah.
Sorry I had to go through that.
I mean, Kyle went through it. I was just backstage like, whew, I didn't bomb.
Oh, that's fair. You're in the splash zone.
Oh,
Yep. You're backstage, buddy.
man. All right, let's get back on track. Sorry. I will say this, though. If you ever get a chance to visit Atlanta, the comedy scene in Atlanta is a very unique place.
I see.
There was
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
go. I don't know if y'all have Hyenas there, but my friend and I, like every now and then, we go to the Hyenas Comedy Club, and it's definitely a hit or a miss. There's been some times where I've sat there and I'm just like, okay, and then other times I'm like dead on the floor. So
Hyena. No, I know I've looked at some stuff, tried to get booked. I don't think I've seen no Hyenas. Is that in Dallas?
yeah, it's in like there's one in Fort Worth, one in Dallas, one in Plano. It's like North Texas. I guess that's where it is exclusive to. I don't know. It could be other places that I'm just not aware of.
Devin, you know what I'm hearing? Boys trip.
Boys trip.
Yeah, if you ever go up there, I'll come see your set.
Yeah, me,
Boy.
you, your wife, my girlfriend, just the boys.
Oh, dude, trust me, we
There you
can't bring
go.
Megan no more. So the big show, I had a big show at the beginning of literally last month.
Oh,
and my
you telling
wife,
that joke?
No, I'm just saying my own wife heckled me. My own wife heckled me in a crowd of 200 plus
As
people.
she should, as her right. That's her right as your wife, I feel like.
Well, I'm just sitting there like,
Good for her.
God. And there was a talent scout there too. I was like, oh God, this is my worst nightmare.
Aw, she loves you. That's fine.
Hold on a minute. I
like
thought your
the other
worst
neighbors.
nightmare was the football one.
Oh, we talking about where I accidentally swore a football in the practice field?
Listen, I've seen you have night terrors over a football, and I've never been the same, man.
Sorry, Zoe. We have so many inside jokes. Yes, sometimes I literally had,
You're
for
good.
the longest time, I had night terrors about me getting. I had this crazy dream every blue moon, where a kid will just hit me in practice by accident, and the ball will go
Mhm.
flying because I coach for a living, and the ball will go flying, and I'll just eat it like a cartoon, and I'm like, ugh. And I'll just wait. My
Honestly,
wife will
that's
tell
not the
you.
worst. Not the worst thing to have nightmares about. I feel like that could maybe happen. Not to like validate your fears, but you'll probably be fine.
No, I wouldn't be fine. No, it doesn't help that the new Final Destination movie's coming out. And I'm like, God, and how a new
Yeah.
wave of nightmares is going to begin.
Death by
Yeah.
footballs.
Could be
There you
death by
go. Start your
football.
next. Start your
Just
own.
don't go balls deep, and you'll be fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cardinal rule.
Oh man, but no, I'll check it out. Hyenas in North Texas. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, because I want to try. I'm mainly stay in the South region, but I would love to go out to Texas.
Texas is considered to be the South as well.
Well,
It is. Unfortunately, it is.
my bad, Kyle, the southeastern side.
Oh, we're doing West Side, East Side.
Yeah, we'll do east side, west side.
Oh, great. We're in a gang
There's
now. I
some
didn't know
cool
it.
stuff here, but it's Texas.
My friends.
Do you want me to get
live-
back on track, Devin?
Yeah, we need to get back on track. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Okay. All right. Editing, Devin, this is where we're cutting back in, maybe.
Yep, go ahead. Adding Devin's gonna hate this.
There you go.
What is... So, we know that on your TikTok, you talk a lot about AO3 and ships. What is your favorite type of ship?
I think that depends on the fandom. My all-time favorite is from the MCU. Unfortunately, it's Captain America, Winter Soldier, Steve and Bucky. That one.
Stucky.
There's one that I read. Yeah, there's one that I read. It's called "Let Me Be Buried Under Your Name," and I like genuinely have almost gotten part of that tattooed on my body. Like it's beautiful. I think everybody should read it. It should be required reading. The end. I have my little jacket on today, but that one's probably my all-time favorite. Like, cause it doesn't matter as I like navigate through other fandoms and like other media that I really enjoy. Cause like I'm really into JJK right now, and personally, I'm not the biggest Gojo Ghetto shipper. I like him and Nanami together for some reason. I saw a really cute fan art of them raising a puppy together, and I was like, yeah, there we go. But I always return back to Stucky.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember the Gojo Nanami where it was like, leave me and my two dads alone, and they're both like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, it was like a sequence of like they adopt a little puppy, and then it's like every month the dog gets bigger, and it's like they're taking a picture in the mirror. It's just so cute. I was just like, oh, that's cute. They both, I don't know, have experienced such great loss, and now you're in the part of your life where you're ready to be loved again. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten into a lot of arguments about that, so I will defend their honor, unfortunately.
Really, you guys see Bucky and Steve Rogers? I think
We've talked about this on our movie
And you
review.
don't?
I
Come
really
on,
don't.
Listen.
We've talked about this on our movie review podcast, and Devin's like, I don't see it. And I'm
I
like,
don't.
I don't know what to tell you,
Okay.
man.
There's one of the main like references is when they're coming back from the war. Steve walks into the bar and Bucky like turns his head and he sees Steve in his little uniform. And the song that's playing in the background, I can't remember it at the moment, but it's like one of the lines in the song is it's very much like a love song line.
Yeah.
And if you watch, I don't know if you watch What If, like the What If spin-off series, the way that they structure Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter, their like relationship through it's like obviously a romantic relationship. It's exactly the same as him and Bucky Barnes through all of the Captain America trilogies in like the mainline canon. And like every single movie he's in, the whole point of it is him getting back to Bucky. Like the first one, he becomes Captain America, he goes back to get Bucky. Winter Soldier, he's just like, oh my god, what's happened to him? I need
Devin,
to
you're
save
going
him.
to lose here. I am on her
Yeah,
side.
Civil War.
That's fine. That's
Civil
fine.
War. His whole thing is like, I understand that the corrupt government is against me, and I'm gonna turn against everybody for Bucky.
For
And
Bucky.
then his ending, I hate Steve Rogers' ending so much because they undo all of his character development, in my opinion. And he goes back to live in the 50s with Peggy, and Peggy's part of the problem because her and Howard Stark are aware that he's the Winter Soldier. And you're telling me he's gonna go back in time, leave the person that he's been fighting for the whole time to be with someone and just like sit back and watch all of the events happen that he's like fought against the whole time? I don't buy it for a second.
I've got a question.
Anyway.
Because I know Devin's view on this, but I am firm in the belief that Charles Xavier and Magneto.
Oh, and Magneto?
Yeah, they have got a good thing going on. And Devin's like, absolutely not.
Yes.
People can just be friends. And I was like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, they can just
They
be
can
friends.
be friends, but not them.
No, there's little hetero explanation for that. So
Not at all. No, that scene on the beach, it's referred to as the beach divorce between the two of them.
Really? I just
Yeah.
always viewed it as their true character development, which, where it was, all right, Magneto is going to be the extremist, and where Charles is going to, use his words and not use his extreme violence. But
I mean, Magneto was kind of justified, so I don't put any blame on him. But
Devin,
You
you
know
can't
what
spell subtext without sex.
yeah, it's like you got to go between the lines. I mean, and it's also such a big corporation; they're never going to confirm anything like that. But they have such, in my opinion, they have such like romantic like sub. My brain's gone. I don't know what the word is. Not subgenre, like subtext. Like they have romantic subtext in their relationships, and like not all of them. I like that because after Thunderbolts, I've seen people shipping John Walker and Bucky Barnes, and that makes me want to like shake them and be like, "What is wrong with you?"
Ew.
But
I haven't seen the movie yet, but ew, why?
They're just there. He gets excited to see him at one point. He's like, "Oh, it's Bucky," and people took that and ran, and that makes me feel insane.
Makes me feel icky.
Yeah. So that like I see why people fight against me like that. But there's also such like a thing where people are like, "Why do you ship two men? Like, why are women always shipping men?" But also like their female counterparts, when they're supposed to be written as romantic interests, are never fleshed out as well. And then all of the like women relationships, if they do end up being like explicitly romantic, are so tragic. I cannot watch another horrific tragedy. Like it kills me inside. So if I'm gonna watch the cute little soldiers be in love, I'm gonna, even though I guess it ended in a tragedy anyways.
Let me ask you this. This is my opinion. This is two weird relationships or ships in the MCU to me. And this is just all my opinion. One, Black Widow and Hulk. Completely random.
Yes. That's all because of Joss Whedon, because he's a freak.
Oh my gosh, Joss Whedon said so. So this is the Snyder, the Snyder cut thing. So the stuff he added into the movie, it was a lot of like butt shots of Gal Gadot that wasn't needed.
Yeah,
and a lot more sexual stuff. And I was like, we didn't need this. The movie was fine without this. Why was this the addition?
That tends to happen.
Yeah.
Because there's also, like, with Bruce and Natasha, there's the scene of him just, like, falling onto her chest, like, face first into her boobs. I'm like, why is this the point? And then where he's, like, equating them both being monsters because, like, he's the Hulk and she's sterilized and can't have children, so she's a monster now.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon made a lot of choices that I do not.
Yeah, it was just random. And, like, I could understand if they were trying to plant the seeds, but it was like, in this movie, she's like, all right, big fella, time to go to sleep. And you just see him, like, being...
Yeah.
I was like, no, you're with Betty. Go to Betty. No.
Yeah. I don't think they're ever going to bring her back up. I doubt it. I feel like... Who is the guy that was the Hulk before?
Edward Norton.
Yeah, I feel like people were so against that movie that everything really, like, pertaining to it, they were like, let's not talk about that. So Betty Ross, like, included.
Here's the thing. The only way I could really see Betty Ross coming back is, like, Red She-Hulk, which is, like, a thing in the comics, I'm fairly certain. But with how the internet handled She-Hulk, which I don't think was that bad.
Yeah, that one... Yeah, that was... an interesting... I'm not surprised by the reaction to it, but I remember watching it and just being like, is this what we're spending our time deliberating about? I'm going to close this door real quick because I got...
No, you're fine.
Just so it's not, like, in your face. She was watching her show and came in for a crack.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. And then my second ship, which this one was in the What If series, Howard the Duck and Darcy, and then they had an egg, and I was like, the fuck?
I think I'm behind on one.
That was a choice. That one, I'm going to be honest, I blocked out until you just said it.
I'm scarred. I have not watched the episode, but I'm scarred, and I'm going to scar everyone at home and the three of us here in this room, or in this cyber studio.
Dude, you've already scarred me. I don't know what to tell you. We live together.
I'm going to scar you some more. I haven't watched the episode, but... Ugh.
I watched the first season of What If, but I haven't watched it since then.
Same.
Yeah, the first season's so good. But
the overarching, like, Peggy Carter of it all, where, like, at its core was about her and Steve, I'm going to be so honest, just pissed me off so bad. I was like, that's not her. And it shouldn't, because she's... You know, people love Peggy Carter. I just have such a bias against her because I feel bad because, like, I don't want to be like, oh, no, I just hate her because they're throwing her in there as the love interest. But I just, like, I feel like I love Bucky Barnes so much and knowing how, like, she was so integral in him staying the Winter Soldier, and they would just like overlook it. I was like, why do we have to learn more about her when I'm conflicted about that.
There's something in the comics. I don't know if she's the actual inspiration for her, but she's close to it. There was a Nazi spy.
Oh, Cynthia Glass.
Yes, that she inspired a little bit by, and so
yeah,
I know a
because
lot of
Peggy
people.
Carter's like an amalgamation of a few different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I try to look at them as like separate universes, because when I like compare comics to the movies, I get like a little annoyed, which is fine, because when they did Hulk and Natasha, I was mad about the like, because I knew that like Stucky was never gonna happen, so I was interested to see if they were gonna pull in like a Red Room like Bucky and Natasha thing, because in the comics they're like
They
one
were
of the
a thing,
main
yeah.
couples.
Yep.
But they ended up not doing that, so I don't know. I try to look at it as like different, but I know that was a big talking point, because I remember seeing a lot of TikToks about that, but I wasn't sure like how much of an inspiration it was, and I didn't know enough about it to like have an opinion, I guess, because I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, no, this makes sense because of this and this, but then like I don't actually know what I'm talking about, if that makes sense.
Well, all right, moving on here. What would you like to explain to us the Omegaverse?
You know, how much time do you have?
As much time as you need.
Yeah, as much time as you need.
Essentially, it's just like, it's a trope that you can apply to any fandom, basically. And like the rules kind of ebb and flow, but the main thing is like, it's this hierarchy. Because there was a study done forever ago on like wolf packs, and they were like, oh, they have the alpha, the beta, and the omegas in nature. But they had been studying like captive wolves. So like none of that's real. In real life, it is debunked. In the Omegaverse, it is alive and well. But
absolutely, as an ecology major, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if you look at Star Trek, there's, I think it's called Ponfar. I'm not like Star Trek watcher, so I'm not 100% sure on the episodes. But it's basically like the Vulcan males and the mating rituals is kind of like what got it going, because it was like, if they don't mate, then they'll die, and like the gender doesn't matter. And then in 2011, when Supernatural was really big, the first like modern day Omegaverse fic was a Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki from Supernatural, but it wasn't their characters, it was the two of them. And it was written, we say it as a joke, it's like kind of true, but it was written so that Jensen Ackles could experience like misogyny and oppression, because like alphas are at the top, they run everything. The betas are like in the middle, they're like close to being like normal people because they don't have like the pheromones. The alphas give off the pheromones that attract the omegas. And usually omegas don't have like rights, and they like need to be protected and all this stuff. But it's basically, it's just like the hierarchy, and like you find your mate, and that's pretty much it. But you can apply it to any fandom or any characters you want, and it's all based off of the author, because the rules are so loose, but it's got like that base structure of just like alpha, beta, omega. But it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's really interesting to see how people will write it, and like which ways the characters will go. I don't know. A lot of people also equate it to just being porn, and that's not what it is at its core. Probably, but like there's all different types of fan fiction, and it's usually seen as just porn, but I like the stories where it's like you get really in depth with the characters versus it's just like a one shot of like them doing what.
Yeah, no, the reason we asked this is because we keep making jokes about alpha males and omegas.
Yeah.
And I was like,
people that describe themselves as alpha males get very mad if you say, well, like, where's your omega then? Or you make it about the Omegaverse, because they don't know what it is, and then they'll Google it and get.
Oh, I know. I know people at work, which is why we keep making these jokes, who definitely act like they're an alpha male, like the cringy whole thing.
Yeah, I know the type, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
And they rock their little fedoras, and they think they're cool.
No, this guy doesn't have a fedora.
Oh, he doesn't have a fedora? Is he more like an Andrew Tate, bald with shades?
Definitely Andrew Tate kind. Definitely not bald.
Dude,
so. I just think Batman should be in prison.
I just love how, I don't know how everybody else's For Use pages, but I love how everybody, honestly, for like the past week, I felt attacked, because I'm seeing a lot of guys make skits. They're like, when the one beta male gets podcast equipment and tries to launch his alpha podcast, and I'm over here like,
I need you to know, Devin, I would stop that before it happened.
I'm just over here like, I own a podcast. I mean, I know I'm not an alpha, but I mean,
no. Anytime,
I feel like as long as you don't fall down one of those pipelines, you're probably.
Yeah, I The only stereotype we really fit into is the two white guys with a podcast.
That's about
Yeah.
it. I'm just like,
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm just over here like, oh
I mean,
god,
y'all
we
are
are too.
willing to have women on your podcast, and I would assume people of color also. So, you know, you're already not just sitting there being like, everyone that's not me, get rid of them, you know?
Oh, no. When I purposely did this because I was like, when we get people for interviews, we have to have people of different races. We have to have people of different sexualities, genders, all this. Everybody. Stuff we're not into, even because that opens up the conversation and doesn't isolate people. Because that is something I didn't want to happen.
Yeah, just like with the Wiccan episode we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Wiccan episode was the.
Yeah, because we were like, we met Tom, and I was like, hey, this is very weird. We know you're a witch. You want to come on our podcast and talk about witchcraft and stuff? We're not into it, but we're willing to learn about it, like on a public area. And she was really cool and was like, absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool. Love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love to hear people talk about like witchcraft. It's so interesting to me. I would love to be able to like just do that because it seems handy, but
I have ADHD.
The ex-Catholic guilt in me would get too scared.
I have ADHD, so I'm like, oh, free education, cool. I can learn a new skill that has no practical use for my situation. And I do that so much.
You never know. And maybe you'll find yourself in a situation where it will be.
Well, the situation currently is just me being like, hey, fun fact, Devin. And Devin's like, oh boy, what did you learn this time?
I know. I'm just like, oh god, I don't talk to him for weeks on end. I learned 200 facts. And I'm like, I leave him unsupervised for a week.
That's so fun though.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I like how I'm just losing my spot today. I'm sorry.
You're on number 11.
You're fine. It's a Sunday.
I feel that. Oh, what fanfic shattered you? Just crushed your spirits?
There's one called. Oh, it's called Punishment for a Monster, and it's a JJK one, and it's like a what if Ghetto lived type one, but he doesn't get to keep his memories. And so, I don't know if you want me to describe it or not. I'll tell you the plot. Not very long. It's like 9,000 words maybe, but it's one of those where like he gets to live a normal life and Gojo like slowly inserts himself into it, but he's having these dreams where he's like talking to his version of Ghetto where they still know each other, and he like watches him fall in love and out of love, and then he realizes like I have to step back from him and like give him up for good even though he's still alive. And that one I read in the middle of the night, and I remember I like put my phone down and I was just like sobbing over it. And then there was one other one called it's called What's Your Name, and it's a Bungo Stray Dogs fan fiction, and it was like it's like them going through their life as a couple, but then like one of them, their dad was really homophobic and they ended up having to go and like testify in court against him. That one is like 300,000 words, so it would take me forever to describe, but it's really good. Both of those have made quite an impression on me, but they're really well written.
So we've got one last question for you. Where can the people at home find you and your content? I
am on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Tumblr as band name generator. That's pretty much where I'm at. I don't really have any other. I thought about making a YouTube channel because I get asked that pretty often, so maybe in the future, but for now, no.
Okay. And hey guys, as always, you can check me out on my podcast, the More Sports Podcast, a sports podcast for everybody, and as well as our movie review podcast, Popcorn Buckets, where we review a new movie every Sunday. And hey, you can follow us on Instagram at Rendo Bucket Boys, and hey, we're at Twitter at Rando Corporate One, and hey, now we're on Blue Sky at the Random Hour. So go check us out, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Random Incorporated, where you can watch the video version of this episode as well as all the other awesome guests we've had on our show. Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting one, Kyle. Am I forgetting one?
And hey,
I feel like I'm forgetting one. I'm like, it's been a hot minute since we recorded.
So, do you have any last words before we end it?
Oh yeah, oops.
I don't know. Go experience the Omegaverse for yourself. It's a good time.
Oh yeah.